forward to this.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Geeknd Live. We're here to talk about The Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 6 and 7. The reason I'm laughing is because I could see on the little screen, they call it like the waiting area, the green room here on, what is it called, StreamYard. I could see the one and only Chad the Stopwatch Campbell dancing away, doing some interesting moves to the countdown music, and he carried it on when I put the Geeknd titles on, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try and bring this to the world, and he stopped. So that's why I was laughing. Anyway, maybe he'll perform it for us when I bring him in. But hello, everybody. Hope you're doing good. So we are going to talk about The Bad Batch Season 3, Episodes 6 and 7. I'm Jamie, but you know that because it's just us guys, as always, right? And Chad Campbell is joining us from Star Wars Lunch Special Podcast. But hello to everybody in the chat. Boy with Glenn the Geeky Hippie is here. Mr. Matthew Stokes is here. Jane Flakes is here. Ross Jenkins is here. David McGay is here. Who else is here? Daniel Spartan is someone else who's here. Anders Lay is here, and Star Wars Meg is here as well. Old friend, yeah, missed you too. It's been a while, hasn't it, Meg? I'm based in London again, so we're like, well, we're not neighbors. It's a big city, 9 million people, right? But, you know, we're closer. David Milano is here as well. Are you actually here, though, David? Because you were like here for like 5 seconds last time. It's better than no seconds. Jane Flakes. Did I say Jane earlier? I'll say Jane again. She's here. Oh yeah, because spoilers are coming and you don't want your daughter getting spoiled. So yeah, put those headphones on, Jane. Protect those ears of your daughter. All right, so let's bring in Chad. Hello, Chad. You're not dancing anymore.
No, I'm sorry. I should have been. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and then I enjoyed you looking very like surprised to be opening the stream, and I was surprised because you weren't dancing, and I don't know what anyone else was thinking or feeling in that moment, but anyway, I quickly took you off, and here we are again together again. So Chad is the man with the stopwatch. Doesn't work so well when he's also involved in the show, but Chad,
we're gonna try today. We're gonna try.
Have we failed? Have we, like, we say 30 minutes? Have we actually gone over 30 minutes?
We've gone over both times, yeah.
Really? Yeah. I have very I have so little to say about this series. It must be you. It must be you. Yep. All you, and you in the chat as well, whether you're watching live, get involved, say hello if you haven't already. Don't be shy. And if you're watching in the future, you know, on the replay, drop a comment as well. So if you don't know Chad, now you do. He also has a podcast, Star Wars Lunch Special. I've linked to it in the video description, so go and check that out. You'll get more of Chad's ramblings and rantings over there on the Bad Batch. And if you want to go back in time, you covered Ahsoka, you covered Mando season 3.
Mando season 3, yep.
Kenobi, I'm sure.
I don't know if I did Kenobi.
You must have.
Oh, I did Kenobi. I did. But this is my first time doing animated Star Wars.
You did cover Andor, didn't you?
I didn't. I skipped Andor.
You did not? Oh, okay. Well, maybe you should cover it after you watch Andor on Blu-ray, which I know Jane Flakes is very excited about.
Transition.
Because it didn't some people pick up on this, that in the wording for the branding of these Blu-ray releases, it was like season 1 of Andor, but then it was like, to paraphrase, the one and only series of Kenobi.
The complete series for Kenobi. And I don't know if they're actually getting a Blu-ray release. Well, it is, but I think it's just 4K. Maybe they're doing a Blu-ray also. I know there's no DVD release of it this time. So maybe it is Blu-ray and 4K, but I'm excited for that. I bought the Mando 4K release when that came out. Mando season 1 and 2. It looks way better. Disney Plus, the color in their UHD, it like gets grayed out. It like gets washed out and does not look good. If you look up the comparisons, people took screenshots from the Disney Plus stream and from the Blu-ray, and it's night and day difference in the color palette. So I prefer to watch it that way. Makes it for a better show. But yeah,
Will you
Yeah,
be getting these 2 releases?
Oh, I will get these. So I don't know if the manual releases were in the UK as well. I kind of assumed that they were, but I don't know, honestly. Yeah.
We should point out that Chad is actually watching The Force Awakens on VHS. You know, he's got it all covered, all formats covered.
Yes, yeah, that's how I do it. So I would love someone.
Anyone who wasn't here the other week when we talked about it, that is genuinely Force Awakens VHS, isn't it, behind you?
Yeah, I got the whole saga, but yeah, someone made and actually took the time to make it and all that. So it's fantastic.
See you later, Daniel Spartan. Hope you have a good evening. Whatever you're up to, be good. Okay, now before we get on to Bad Batch, a little bit of sad news that reached me yesterday. There has been a passing in the Star Wars actors community. Star Wars and James Bond actor Michael Culver dies. This news was from yesterday late afternoon in the UK. His agent said one of the smallest parts he ever played and became one of the biggest in his life, which is referring to the iconic scene in The Empire Strikes Back when he, apology accepted captain, as Captain Nidar met a force choke fate at the hands or the hand of a certain Darth Vader. So age 85. He also appeared in James Bond movies. He was described as a classic English actor. Not exactly a household name, but one of those guys, like many in Star Wars and Indiana Jones, that sort of popped up in the background in many iconic movies, franchises, on stage, TV shows. And later in life, apparently, he became a passionate political activist as well. And he died at his home on the 27th of February, but it was only announced yesterday. So, some sad news. And another quote from his agent: he belonged to the backbone of the nation. He wasn't a star like a Michael Caine, but everything he did was always never less than excellent. And again, in terms of Empire Strikes Back, for me, he is as famous as Michael Caine. That's an iconic Star Wars moment. Chad.
Yes.
Pay your respects.
Big respects to Michael Caine. It is an iconic role, iconic character.
Michael Caine has not died.
Sorry.
Michael Culver.
I was reading. I'm trying to read the live comments going while you're saying that. Yes, Michael Culver. You're right. He's no Michael Caine. Did I mess up there?
You basically said that Michael Caine died. Michael Caine has not died. Panic over, everybody.
Michael Culver. Yes, this is going to be forever a thing that I'm remembered for. But no, I was trying to read the comments while this was going on. Yes, Michael Culver. Michael Caine was referenced in that article though, and I did read it. Yes, yeah. There's no coming back from this at this point. It's always a sad loss of anyone in general, but especially when it's someone in the Star Wars universe.
Yes, of course. You have to remember we're remembering him for this role in Star Wars that made a big impact on our lives. But of course, he would have made an even bigger impact on those close to him as a human, a family man, I'm sure as well. So thank you, Chad, for paying your respects to the man that actually did die. Just to reiterate, Michael Caine, as far as we know, is still alive. Chad spoke out of turn announcing his death. But again, sad news about Michael Culver, Captain Nidar, Empire Strikes Back. All right. Okay, I think we should move on. Let's not do any more obituaries on this stream, especially when Chad's here, I think.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. All right. You're very good at talking about Bad Batch, though. So we're going to talk about that now. Episode 6, episode 7. A lot going on. Right, Chad? We had returning characters. We had chases. We had action. We had tension. We had quite a lot of literal darkness. Mysterious secret assassin. And this was a double episode story arc. And we were discussing why there was 2 episodes dropping this week. And that was our answer, right?
Yeah, it made sense once I saw it. I thought the episodes were really good. I thought it was really solid. I think this to me, like there was a lot of like, oh gosh, look at that character and this character, and it is always good to catch up on characters that I like. But I was kind of disappointed at how little, especially when you drop 2 episodes. Usually, when they've done it in the past, there's a lot of plot progression, and there was very little.
There's not much progression on. Sorry, there wasn't much progression on your comment.
Not a lot of plot movement.
Okay, not a lot of plot movement. I was about to say there wasn't a lot of movement on your speech because you froze. But yeah, no, I would also use the word solid to describe those episodes. They were very enjoyable. I agree. It wasn't much plot advancement. So we had episode 6, Infiltration. Episode 7, Extraction. So some of those returning characters, who did we have? Hauser, Wolf, and Rex is there, first season appearance for the captain, and also the senator and the other person, alien that we've met before. I don't know her name. I don't know the senator's name either, to be honest.
I don't know if they even said, so the senator's name I had written down. I don't think I have it with me, but I don't even know if they said her name again, but I remember her from another thing. So there was a thing with that.
David McKay's on it. Senator Chuchi and Senator Singh.
Yeah, Singh. Okay, thank you, McKay. Yeah, Chuchi. Okay, that name is familiar, but I don't know. Like, I can't pretend like I would have known that without you, David. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, David. But I guess, the biggest return, although the biggest return I suppose was Rex, and there was interesting dynamics there between the clones with Hauser and Wolf as well. I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed having the back-to-back sort of complete narrative, if you like, of this arc. I mentioned earlier it was a bit dark. I did find it was a bit dark on my screen, but maybe that's just my screen. I don't know.
No, I think that's the problem with Disney Plus and their 4K streams, is that it does mute colors and darken things. Yes, I've been laughing at this conversation going on the side here.
I'm definitely coming to the chat. We're definitely going to go back in time in the chat. You're not off the hook yet, Jad. We're definitely coming back to the chat and going back in the chat.
Yeah, it's too good. Anyway, I definitely think that it was dark to the point of I couldn't see everything as well as I would have liked to, which for me, then I'm not as into the action because I can't always tell what's even happening. So that was definitely a qualm I had with this one. But overall, I think these episodes were good. It was nice to see people, but I was a little disappointed at the lack of progress. It was a lot of reminders of what the plot has been so far. It's characters talking to other. They do that in shows mid-season. They'll be like, "Hey, let's remind the audience what this plot is about." And we did it. We touched on each point, but there was no progression therein.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you have to think now we're kind of plot-wise surely moving up a gear, and we haven't seen Hemlock now for a few episodes, so I'm sure he'll be back sooner rather than later. What I could see though, as always, looked beautiful, and as I say this every week, the look and for an animated series and the feel and also the score as well is always on point. But there were times where I was struggling to see, and like you, couldn't really get into the action fully, but again, did enjoy. What about this mysterious secret assassin character who is pretty cool and intriguing, and you feel like you're building up to some sort of reveal here? What are you thinking? What are you hearing as well? Because I believe there are some rumors out there.
My theory is that would be awesome if that's how they're bringing back Tech. So Tech landed and then was found by the Empire and was reprogrammed, re-brainwashed to be an assassin. That's very possible. And if you're going to bring him back at this point, this late in, like, that's the way to do it, man. But I thought, we saw him. I think that was the character that they captured and took the mask off, and then he laughed, and then he goes back in. Is that the same character, right? That that we saw them capture him and take the mask off, or was it a different one?
No, they didn't unmask the assassin, did they?
Okay, if they didn't unmask the assassin, then I would.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the in the chat, but that was one of the main things I took away. Who is this assassin?
Yeah, I think when they're putting that much spotlight on him, and we've kind of seen all the other people that we could know, it wouldn't surprise me if that's Tech or something like that. Because I don't know at this point who else is there that they would give it this much.
Glenn has confirmed. Glenn has confirmed,
okay,
and Anders has confirmed.
Okay, so it was the first infiltrator that was. That's what I think that's
what
I was.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was getting confused on. But yeah, then I think that theory it's the only one at this point that makes sense to me. Because who else is still alive that has any attachment in this show that we would need to focus on multiple times and introduce it this late? We have our villains. We don't need another side villain thing. So Tech's the only thing I can think of. The problem for me is that that's cheap because it's the same storyline as Crosshair. But if you're going to bring him back, that's the cool way to do it.
If we will see. Jane was also left in the dark. The episodes were painfully dark. This is one of those where we need to watch them in utter darkness to make out the different darks on screen. It was annoying, Jane says. Hopefully you weren't like messing around with super glue whilst watching this episode in the dark, because you might have ended up with another Kindle stuck to you, I imagine. Jane. All right, I'm going to go back in the chat then. Around about the time you falsely announced the death of I think it's Sir Michael Caine, right? I think
it is. He's a sir. He's been knighted.
Oh, Jane does have glue on her fingers, as always. Some nasty comment about Wookiees. I care about Wookiees. Yes, here we go. Wow, chat. And we all know what that wow's for.
Yeah.
And we got an inappropriate comment from the one and only Glenn the Geeky Hippie.
I think it starts with
Michael Caine.
Yeah, you and Milano. And then Glenn jumps on that.
Because of Chad, I've cried about 20 times in the last 2 weeks. Chad, you've given Glenn a busy week in the emotional department. Hello to Luis as well. Hope you're doing good. Good afternoon to you. Good evening from me to you.
I was on Glenn's one of his YouTube channels, and we talked about the book Flowers for Algernon. I don't know if that's a normal thing they read in British schools, but they do here in the American schools. We read that one all the time. And so that's a very sad book, especially when you're older. Like, it means a lot more to you then. So that was it. That's his crying thing that I made him do. And to be fair, I did choose that book. And so, yeah.
I don't remember it at school, but that doesn't mean we didn't do it at school, to be honest. But,
right.
Who knows? I think, I don't think there's any more abuse for you in the chat beyond that. Louise is still here. Hello, Louise. Hope you're doing good. So there is one more. Mr. Matthew Stokes. R.I.P. Sir Michael Caine, CBE 1933 to 2024, according to Chad Campbell.
Man,
it's not true, everybody. It's not true. But Michael Culver, Captain Nidar, Empire Strikes Back, and actor, political activist later in life, has passed away. So, these I mean, I don't really have much more to say about them, to be honest. I'm hoping now. I enjoyed them, though. I enjoyed the action, for what I could see, and I'm hoping, I'm hoping for a bit more plot progression going on. It was also, I suppose, interesting to see a little bit more of the conditioning, the clones have been subjected to on Tantis as well, like completely brainwashed or memories erased. So that was quite interesting as well.
I liked at the end of the latest episode, we got the return of an old character. So that mini reunion with Rex and what's his name? The other guy who was leading the
Hauser.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, Wolf and Hauser were there, weren't they?
Yes, yeah. Wolf is the one. Anyway, so he is from Clone Wars. And I think the last time we saw him was in season 6 of that. So that was cool to at least know where someone has been. I did find it weird that absolutely none of the stormtroopers decided to shoot, though. Anyway, even though that's their orders, they just let him escape. It's that's a good thing, but like not one of them cares enough or is made to follow orders that much. I don't know.
Yeah,
someone would have done it.
Yeah. I'm going to get your scores and everybody. I'm going to give both of these episodes a 7 out of 10. They were enjoyable. Wow. I think that's quite high. I mean, it's quite high with 5 being average. Chad, what are you going to give them?
I'm going to give the first one, episode 6. I'm going to give that a 7.5 out of 10. It's tied for my lowest rated so far this season.
Wow.
It wasn't bad. I just was waiting for more to happen. And it's largely just a setup for the next episode, which I'll give an 8 out of 10 to. Decent payoff, but I do want to see more plot progression and less plot reminders.
Yeah,
but they dropped episodes 8 and 9 together. Now they dropped 6 and 7. So I'm hoping that 8 and 9 still have a really big climax. And Jane points out a good thing in her score, and I'll agree with this. I might have rated them higher if I could have watched them better and actually fell into the action. But I didn't feel that into it because I couldn't see some of what was going on. So that always brings it down a bit.
Yeah, we've got a suggestion for your new nickname, Chad the Assassin or Executioner. Yes. Pretty fitting after the outrage of today's stream. So Glenn, the Geeky Hippie, has given both episodes 8 out of 10. Good scores from Glenn. Hey, hope you're doing good, my man, my mate. Good to see you here on the stream. And again, Jane's scores, I think for both are 8 out of 12. That's Jane's Imperial system. They were fun, but way too dark, as Chad just picked up on. But there is an extra point there for Wolf. So without Wolf, it would have been a 7. Ben Milano says the last group with Wolf were all clones. I was thinking if they were stormtroopers, they'd have shot 2. David Mackay gives it an 8 out of 10. I assume for both episodes. Matthew Stokes 6.5, which I assume is for episode 6, and a 7 for 7. So there's Mr. Matthew Stokes' scores coming in there. I might be wrong, but I think Matthew, you gave the lowest scores last week, whilst Peter gave one of the highest scores, or at least one of the highest scores in the history of Peter.
I think he did. Peter loved that one. One of the ones we talked about last week, or maybe
last week we talked about 2 because I was one behind the week before. So
yeah, 4 and 5 last week. Yeah. I think he loved 5 or something. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. He definitely had a lot of love for that. Jorge on the darkness, not to be confused with the British rock band. I've noticed that Disney Plus looks darker when I watch from the app on my TV than when I cast through Chromecast.
I agree with that. The difference for me, at least, is that one is like my phone only casts in 1080 and my TV plays it in 4K. And it's their 4K filter that tends to mute everything. But if you can watch it in 1080, the color usually looks better.
Jane has confirmed that she was streaming the show through a laptop on the TV screen.
Okay.
Yeah, Glenn says, never know which episode shows Peter is going to like or not. The man is a mystery.
Yes, we got to have him on sometime.
We will. I can't remember. I feel like we came up with a plan. Glenn's going to come on for the finale. I know that for sure. We need to get Peter on between now and then, basically. But he's not available tonight to even join us on the live stream. He did send his apologies, though, but not his score. So we'll have to wait till next week for his score on 6 and 7. Ross Jenkins, overall, it's an 8 out of 10 for both. For me, love the assassin on assassin action. Peter is a good guest. Not great, but good. As long as he doesn't murder people or announce fake deaths, we don't want any more fake news.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Michael Caine. If you put that as this stream's title, though, you'll get a lot more clicks.
Yeah, maybe I should not. 4K, I should point out, it was still too dark. That's from Jane.
Yeah, the 4K is darker for me than the 1080 when I'm watching them. Oh shit, I froze again.
You froze and you dropped a very naughty word on the stream. You've murdered someone. You've murdered my ability to earn $1 on ad revenue.
What did I say? What did I say just now?
Word. It began with an S. It began with an S, and it wasn't Stangroom. Yeah, but it's all good. It's all. I think one word like in the middle, actually towards the end, is actually okay. I think when you say it early on, it can get flagged up. But I would literally lose $1 in ad revenue, so it's okay, Chad. I forgive you.
All right, good.
So, Hoy, you know, I am actually going to have to consider new guests now because this has been an absolute, I don't know what it's been, but it's been something.
Man.
Yeah, no, always happy to have, always want to have Ken on. This is down to me pulling my finger out, but we are collaborating on a future Lightspeed Tonight episode together. And yeah, probably for the Acolyte, I'll ask him to come on for an episode as well. But Ken, you know, he's got so many streams of his own. It's not just Force Center, so much going on. So I don't want to put too much pressure on the guy. But at least I know I can trust him when he does come on.
Yeah, David McKay said he watched it in 1080 and didn't have any darkness issues. That's what I was saying froze earlier. 4K has a broader spectrum of colors available, so the darkers become a lot darker. And that's the issue that Disney Plus specifically.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, there'll always be a bit of Ken in my life. Our lives always. In fact, he was on the stream last week in the chat. Yes, Chad, you're doing what you do best, which is not talking about, not reading obituaries. It is keeping an eye on time. We do have a couple of minutes left. We don't need to shun Chad. He's here for the rest of the series, whether he likes it or not. He is here. We will be here, Chad. You tell me if you can't make it, but we will be here next week. Here. Will Michael Caine be here next week? I don't know. Ask Chad. But we will be here next week, and we will do it at the same time. Chad, we'll have a chat because I think our clocks change soon as well, and yours have just changed. So we'll maybe confirm the time. We'll talk next week and confirm the time, but we will be here around this time next week.
Perfect.
And then I think the week after is good, and then at some point mid-April-ish, I'm on my travels, so we might have to sort of
see what we can do. Improvise.
Batch up the episodes a bit as well, but we'll be here next week. That's all that's important to say for now. Gaz Nottingham, hello there and goodbye there, because we are about to wrap up. Glenn says, I always seem to miss the show when Knapsack or Alex Damon are around. Yeah, Alex came on. I can't remember what series, but Alex also is always collaborating with Lightspeed Tonight as well. Just got to edit them. And I think that, our clocks don't change until the end of the month.
Okay.
So it's more about you, whether this time today was good for you or not, Chad.
That's fine. Yeah. So because one is what was one is now two is the only difference.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But I know this is a little bit early for some people, so maybe we can play around with it a little bit if it works.
Yeah. I'm good with whatever.
With your work. Cool. All right, then. Well, maybe we'll try and at least do it half an hour later or something if that works with Chad's work schedule, because I know Leona, for example, it's too early for her and she's usually a regular, so let's see what we can do. But
I can make it work, whatever we do.
Cool. All right. Yeah, it's waving time. Jane started it, so I'm going to hit end broadcast. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chad. Yeah, thanks. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And you got to start waving because I'm hitting end stream. We'll be back next week to talk about the Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 8. One final comment. Can I get it up?